Hello friends, welcome to my lectures. So today let us discuss about another fat soluble vitamin, vitamin E. As we all know that there are four fat soluble vitamins are there, vitamin A, D, E, K, and among these vitamins, vitamin E also is one of the essential fat soluble vitamin. So chemically vitamin E is tocopherol. So vitamin E exists in the nature in 8 chemical forms. They are alpha, beta, gamma and delta tocopherol and alpha, beta, gamma and delta tocotriol. So these are the 8 forms. I repeat once again. So naturally occurring vitamin E, it is available in 8 chemical forms. They are alpha, beta, gamma and delta tocopherol and alpha, beta, gamma and delta tocotriols. Okay, and among all this alpha tocopherol, it is the only form which is required by the human body. So these tocopherols are alkaline sensitive. That means everyone might have studied in school days that neutral pH is 7. So if the pH level is above 7, it is called as alkaline in nature, and if it is below 7, it is acidic in nature. So tocopherols are alkaline sensitive and their vitamin activity will be destroyed by the oxidation process. And as I said, among all tocopherols, alpha tocopherol is the most potent and widely distributed in nature, and this is the only form which is recognized to meet the human requirements. And cooking and food processing may destroy vitamin E to some extent. That means during the process of cooking as well as other food processing activities will destroy some components of vitamin E. So vitamin E is involved in maintenance of muscle tone, and vitamin E also increases synthesis of heme proteins. And vitamin E also prevents dietary vitamin A and carotene from oxidative damage. So vitamin E acts as a powerful antioxidant. So antioxidant means during the metabolic activities of the body, there are so many free radicals will be released in the body. So vitamin E helps to minimize the effect of these free radicals, and there are various scientific studies strongly suggest that vitamin E is being highly significant in managing diabetes. It helps to prevent and treat heart problems like high blood pressure, heart attack, chest pain and hardening of the blood vessels. And the potent antioxidative property of vitamin E holds high significance in dermatology also, and has been used since many years. So in treating skin conditions, vitamin E will be helpful. And vitamin E also used in the form of oil, it is used in the form of serum and also as a supplement, and it acts as a skin battalion, and it helps to shield the skin against various skin problems such as inflammation of the skin, and then aging of the skin can be minimized, and also it protects skin from sun damage. And it also reduces the appearance of scars and keeps the skin moisturized and also hydrated. And vitamin E is also one of the key ingredient for a healthy scalp, and it nourishes the hair. When used topically on the scalp, it creates a protective barrier and it locks the moisture within the hair. Thereby it prevents the hair to look dull as well as frizzy, and it also reduces oxidative stress and prevents hair fall. So vitamin E is very essential to maintain the health of the skin as well as hair. Vitamin E also plays a key role in the production of prostaglandins, so which is required for controlling the blood pressure and regulating muscle contraction. And this potent antioxidant also promotes physical endurance, and it increases the energy levels of the body, and it reduces fatigue of muscle after the intense workout or physical training. And other researchers also recommended use of vitamin E is beneficial for treating asthma. It helps to treat respiratory ailments, infertility, impotency, cystic fibrosis, cataract, as well as allergies. Additionally, vitamin E is also found to be significant against brain as well as nervous system disorders, and it reduces the risk of Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, epilepsy, rheumatoid arthritis, restless leg syndrome, and Huntington's chorea. So, functions of vitamin E in short: it protects cell membranes and tissues from damage by oxidation. That means it helps prevent the effect of free radicals. It aids in the formation of red blood cells and the use of vitamin K, and it promotes function of a healthy circulatory system. Vitamin E also helps in slowing cognitive decline in Alzheimer's patients. It lowers blood pressure and cholesterol level, and it protects tissues from the destructive action of oxidants. And this is the time to relax for a moment. As you see on the screen, try to rotate your eyes for a moment. So let's continue. A quick recap. Here is a question. So what do you mean by antioxidant? So there are 4 options have been given. Option A substance that protects cells against free radicals. It protects body against harmful environmental exposure, and antioxidant increases the shelf life of both natural and processed foods, and all of the above. So choose your answer. So let us continue. Food sources of vitamin E. So vitamin E is found in both plant sources as well as animal sources. So among the plant sources, it is rich in oils, nuts, seeds, fruits and vegetables, and oils like wheat germ oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil and soybean oil. And among the nuts, sunflower seeds, almonds, peanuts and peanut butter, beet greens, collard greens and spinach. And it is also rich in pumpkin, red bell pepper, asparagus, mango, avocado. And among the animal sources, it is rich in herring, tuna, sardines, fish, etc. So these are the some of the sources of vitamin E, like almonds, bell pepper, butternut squash, dried apricots, leafy vegetables, and then green olives, papaya, pine nuts, cooked spinach, cold pressed plant oils, avocado, tomatoes, sunflower seeds, chili powder and paprika. So this is about sources of vitamin E. And let us see the required daily allowances of vitamin E. So vitamin E for males and females who aged above 14 years requires 15 mg per day or 22 international units, including pregnant women. So the daily requirement for both males and females above 14 years of age group includes 15 mg per day or 22 international units, including pregnant women. And for lactating women, the requirement will be slightly more than normal, that is 19 mg per day or 28 international units. And let us see the absorption, transportation and storage of vitamin E. So like other fat soluble vitamins, vitamin E also will be absorbed in the small intestine in the presence of bile salts. And once the tocopherols are absorbed in the small intestine, they are incorporated into chylomicrons in mucosal cells of intestine, and in this form it enters the circulation via lymph. And in plasma, tocopherols are released from chylomicrons by the action of lipoprotein lipase. And liver takes up half of the tocopherol and it's going to store this tocopherol. And skeletal muscle and adipose tissue also stores the rest of the vitamin E. And from the liver, vitamin E or tocopherols are transferred to other tissues with the help of beta lipoprotein. That is about absorption. And coming to the signs of deficiency of vitamin E. So vitamin E is found in a variety of foods as well as supplements. So deficiency is rare, as I have seen in I have told in the earlier lectures also, as it is a fat soluble vitamin. So vitamin E also will be stored in the liver as well as adipose tissue as well as skeletal muscles. So for a certain period of time, if we don't take in food also, the reserved vitamin E will be utilized by the body. So vitamin E deficiency is rare, but for a prolonged period of time, if we don't take vitamin E rich food, and also people who suffer from certain diseases like pancreatitis, cystic fibrosis, celiac disease, they can develop vitamin E deficiency. So some of the common signs of deficiency are retinopathy. Retinopathy means it's a damage to the retina of the eyes which leads to impaired vision. And then peripheral neuropathy, that means damage to the peripheral nerves, usually in the hands or feet, which causes weakness or pain. And ataxia. Ataxia means loss of control of body movements. And decreased immune function. So due to this, a person will be person frequently gets infections because of weak immune system. So let us see the toxic effects or hypervitaminosis of vitamin E. So there is no such evidence of toxic effects from vitamin E found naturally in food. Most adults who obtain vitamin E supplements up to 400 to 1000 international units, there is no toxic effects. And in case if the intake is exceeding this 1000 international units, there are certain harmful side effects may occur. So however, there is a risk of excess bleeding, particularly if the individual is taking more doses, that is more than 1000 mg per day, there may be a risk of excessive bleeding. And to summarize, vitamin E is one of the essential fat soluble vitamin, and it is available in the form of tocopherol. Among all the tocopherol, alpha tocopherol is very important for human being, and it holds high significance in treating different types of diseases. Vitamin E acts as a powerful antioxidant, and then there are various sources are available. So it is available in both plant as well as animal sources. And then deficiency as well as toxic effects are rare, but when the person is not taking vitamin E rich food for a prolonged period of time, and it may leads to certain health problems like retinopathy, neuropathy, etc. And then toxic effects are rare. So this is about vitamin E. So there is another question I am giving. Deficiency of which vitamin causes increase in the fragility of red blood cells and weakness in muscles? Option A, deficiency of vitamin A. Option B, deficiency of vitamin E. C, deficiency of vitamin D, and option D, deficiency of vitamin K. And the answer for my previous question is all of the above. And this question answer is with no, naturally deficiency of vitamin E. So that's all about vitamin E. Thank you.